Now that we've got our mud mixed up and our tools cleaned up, we're ready to start on the armature. What we want to do first is just cover the whole thing. And we want to get mud between the internal tube and the external hexagon. The easiest way to do that is to just go ahead and use your hands and pile mud right around the bottom. Being careful not to knock it over. Now we just want to stabilize it with one hand and use the other hand and just drag the mud right up as you push it in. I'm not worried about doing a good job on anything yet. Just getting the whole thing covered is all. You kind of look down the center, make sure you're not dropping a lot in there. It's pretty easy to clean out later. But we don't want to just pack tons of mud in there. Now we're going to take our small margin trowel, get it down. We're just going to clean up the bottom of this. Take some of the mud off the bottom, lay it up top. You don't want to push too hard and push it through. Just go ahead and build about maybe a half-inch layer all over the whole top. Go ahead and clean the bottom up. Throw some of this excess back in the wheelbarrow. Now what we do, let's get a handful of cement or mortar. I scrape it on the wheelbarrow to give me kind of a flat start there. And it takes a little bit of practice, but what you do is you basically just cut slices. Throw it on, trowel it up. Slice. We're just going about a half-inch thick. Throw it on, trowel it up. If you have a pool trowel, it's basically the same process, only on a bigger scale. What you want to do is go all the way around the whole thing like that. Work up the corner to start it in for the next sides. Always trowel up, troweling down, we'll pull it right off the wire. Always up. We don't need to worry about getting it by any means perfect. We just want to make sure it's out about a half-inch on all the sides. You can keep your hexagon. And we want to make sure there's no wire showing, including we don't want any holes into the wire. We'll go ahead and rough it out like that first. Then we'll come back when we're all done. Or think we are, and continue the same slice, throw it on the spots where we see bare wire. Now if you're real careful, you can go down on a spot like that, just to touch up the corner. Once you're able to, go ahead and bring it up, just to make sure it's on there. If the mud falls off somewhere, just stick it back on again. If you see a hole somewhere like that, that could go all the way into the wire. We'll go ahead and not necessarily fill it, but close it up. We're going to go ahead and just keep on putting very thin layers and smoothing it around. Wrap it over the corners. We're going to go ahead and finish the top around the pipe. Right up. Put your trowel right on the pipe. Drag it around. Go ahead and make this completely finished, smoothed off, and done. Sometimes if it gets a little dry, a paintbrush dipped in water, just go ahead and really lightly brush the water on there like it were paint. And what that's going to do is just give you a little bit more cream to really smooth it nice. We're actually finishing our top right now, so that's what we want. We want to go ahead and make sure that we put the trowel right against the pipe and scrape the pipe so that it's tightly sealed. Make sure it's straight. Give it a little wiggle. Get that mud really sealed onto it. We don't want water running down the crack of the pipe. And that's probably good there. When you're doing this little detail, you can, instead of scraping it and throwing it on, you can scrape it backwards onto the bottom of the trowel and lay it on. That's something that you'll end up using a lot when you're doing little tiny detailed things. Now we're almost ready to start our brushwork. We just want to be sure that the bottom of the column doesn't get bigger than the rest of it all the way around. It'd be pretty artificial looking. So we're just going to go ahead and scrape off a little bit and pull the mud away. Go ahead and do that to every side. Oh, I guess we didn't get big on the bottom because there's wire there. That's okay. Just cover it back up. Just do that to all the sides. Then we'll take a new paintbrush, dip it in water, and we want to just put it on the plastic so it's very thin and jab it underneath the column. That's going to give us a nice clean edge so it won't break off when we lift the column. Just jab that all the way around on the cleaned up base. Now we're going to take some water in our paintbrush and brush the entire thing. You can use the brush to fill in little holes that you might have missed. Get rid of big stuff you don't like. You can even make more stuff that you do like. You can use it as a texturing tool. Just go ahead and brush all the way around. Cleaning up stuff that's going to fall off. Like this could easily break off. So we'll just go ahead and take that off. That'll make it a stronger finished product. Go right on around the whole thing. Very lightly brushing it. Not too much water, not too little. We don't want to make anything run. Now we're going to go ahead and give our top one more clean up. Any bits and pieces that we might have brushed up onto it. And then, last but not least, if you have a texture roller, we don't want to grind this in hard and make all these little holes and pockets. We just want to very lightly roll it up. It's just going to give the stain some character. If it's too light, you can go back and forth to sink it in deeper. But we want it to hit some spots and not others, and it gives you different textures. We got a smooth there where it's deep. We got deep pockets there. Just do that to all the sides. Doesn't take much time. And then we'll repeat the whole process on our top. You want to be very careful, because it's so small, that you don't get it too big. It's really easy to end up with just a great big old blob. You want to favor, if anything, on the small side. It's better if it looks a little light on top than top heavy. You don't want to get carried away and do too much, but you can just exaggerate some of the edges a little bit by carving them with the trowel and then real lightly brushing to blend them back in. Now we want to take our actual lampshade and set it into place. We don't want to center it over the pipe so much as we want to center it on the actual column. Set it on there real light. Get back, look all around. Needs a little adjustment. That's the spot. Now what we want to do is make a track. So we'll wiggle it down real gently. We don't want to go too deep. Maybe just like 1/8 of an inch. Pick it up. And you want to lift it up, move it over just a smidge. Push down again. Lift it up, move it a different direction, just a smidge. And just keep doing that, all different directions, until you have a nice little track that this will set in. The last thing you want to do is make sure it's real level on top, and then remove it. Cover your work with plastic. Use some of the leftover mud to weight down the edges. And leave it like that for 24 hours.